The first roundabout in Carmel was built on River Road and 131st Street in the late 90s, around 1997. The next two were on Hazel Dell Parkway. We made the decision to build roundabouts because they're safer, less expensive, and aesthetically more pleasing. They're safer for vehicles because all the vehicles have to slow down. When comparing a roundabout to a stoplight, many times cars will speed up to go through the yellow light or speed up even to go through the green lights, and then if there's an accident, it tends to be a very serious accident, possibly a fatality. At the roundabout, everyone is going slower. And so when there are accidents, they tend to be very minor side swipes or rear end accidents that do not send people to the hospital. The other reason that the accidents are less severe at roundabouts is that one's angled as you go into the roundabout so that there's not a T-bone type of crash if someone makes a mistake. It's usually a minor side swipe that results in no injuries and relatively minor property damage accidents. Roundabouts are not only safer for vehicles, studies show they're also safer for pedestrians. At a stoplight, if there's a pedestrian vehicular accident, speeds tend to be very fast. At the roundabout, everyone's going slowly, so if there is a pedestrian accident, it tends to be less serious than it would be at a stoplight because of the lower speeds. You can also see when we design and build the roundabouts, there's an island in the middle of the street before you enter the roundabout, the island that actually makes the cars go into the roundabout at an angle. And so a pedestrian can walk out in that island area and wait and only have to cross half the street at one time and then wait until traffic clears to cross the other half of the street. Roundabouts are also less expensive to build as well as maintain over stoplights. The concrete and asphalt used at a roundabout is about the same as a signalized intersection with the turn lanes and so on. The difference, though, comes with the mechanical equipment, the signal itself. A full-fledged traffic signal with pedestrian crosswalk signs cost about $125,000, and we don't have any of that cost at a roundabout. Furthermore, the annual cost of providing the electricity for the stoplight costs between $8,000 and $10,000 a year per light. We don't have any of that cost at a roundabout either, and when there is a storm and the electricity goes out, we don't have to send a police officer out to direct traffic at the roundabout because it continues to work, unlike a stoplight. You can do an awful lot of landscaping in the middle of the roundabouts for the amount saved over a stoplight. Of course, the theory at roundabouts is that no one should have to stop, or if they do have to stop, not for very long, where half the cars at a stoplight stop for half a minute to a minute, depending on the type of road the light has been installed on. So one of the advantages of a roundabout is a lot less gasoline is consumed by the public. We've estimated that roundabouts in Carmel are saving millions of dollars per year for people who just drive through them in gasoline that's not used while they sit there idling. And of course, this is correlated as well to an improvement in the air quality. Not as much gasoline burn while idling at a stoplight means better air quality in our community. We were one of the first communities in the Midwest to build roundabouts. Michigan had built a few, Colorado had built quite a few, Montgomery County, Maryland, outside of Washington, D.C. had quite a few modern roundabouts. But we were one of the first communities to really take them on in the Midwest and make the determination that they worked better than stoplights in many, many cases. A lot of people have confused what we call modern roundabouts with the old rotaries from New England. Rotaries are different. They're much more like the Indianapolis Circle. They're larger, which means that vehicles can get speeds up while they're in the circle. That actually raises the accident rate based on engineering studies. We find that the smaller the roundabouts are, the fewer accidents there are. Almost counterintuitive, but that's what the statistics and our experience show. There is a learning curve when people who've never driven on roundabouts before start to drive on them. And one of the things we've learned with experience is that the center of the roundabout should actually be built up so that the view of the entire roundabout is blocked. Again, this may seem counterintuitive, but sometimes we find a cautious driver will stop and wait until the entire roundabout is clear of traffic. when really what they should be doing is just looking to their left to look for a gap in the traffic. So by building the inside of the roundabout up with beautiful landscaping and having a bit of a mound there, actually we found makes the roundabouts operate better. One of the reasons we like roundabouts and are using them so much in Carmel, in addition to safety, in addition to the cost savings, are the aesthetics. I think we all want to live in a place that reminds us of our rural heritage in this area, a place that's green. We don't want to see everything paved over. And so the roundabouts are a much less urban way to handle a lot of traffic in an intersection. It reminds us of a rural area. Stoplights aren't shining in people's bedroom windows at night. It's just a much nicer, more aesthetic way to handle lots of traffic. We really think, too, that making our streets beautiful, using a lot of our discretionary transportation money to make our streets beautiful, to make the roundabouts beautiful, is one of the best things we can do to help property values in the city as well.